Hello, my friends. Welcome back to English is Easy. I have a question for you. How good is your English? In today's video, we will take a 10-question quiz featuring advanced vocab words. We will learn the language as we go along, and then at the end of the video, we will see the new words used in a story. So if you are ready to take the test and learn some really useful new words, be sure to watch all the way to the end and let me know in the comments how many you got correct. Question number 1. After forgetting her lines 3 times in rehearsal, it was that she'd mess up during the real show. It was what? Frenetic, inevitable, emphatic, or rigid that she'd mess up during the real show? In 3, 2, 1. The answer is inevitable, meaning certain to happen, unavoidable. Yeah, can't be avoided. Here's an additional example sentence. With no practice and a bad cold, it was inevitable that he'd miss the game. It couldn't be helped. It couldn't be stopped. It couldn't be avoided. He had no practice. He had a bad cold. Of course he was going to miss the game. It was inevitable. In other words, there was no way around it. Question 2. She made an decision to quit her job without a backup plan. She made an abrupt decision, an amiable decision, an entrenched decision, or an accessible decision. In 3, 2, 1, the answer is A, abrupt. She made an abrupt decision, meaning a sudden and unexpected decision. Nobody saw it coming. And it was very sudden, right? So it happened very quickly. Here's another example. His speech ended with an abrupt silence that surprised the crowd. So the silence was sudden and unexpected. In other words, it came out of nowhere. Question 3. He lives a lifestyle, always saving money and avoiding waste. What kind of lifestyle? A bombastic lifestyle, frugal lifestyle, audacious lifestyle, rapturous lifestyle? In 3, 2, 1, the answer is B, frugal, meaning careful with money, not wasteful. Here's an example. Being frugal helped her save enough to travel the world, right? So if you are frugal, you're not a big spender. You are not spending money hand over fist out there. Yeah, in fact, you're very careful with your money. We could also say you pinch pennies. You pinch pennies. You're very careful with your money. Question number 4. The artist was known for his behavior, like wearing pajamas to formal events. What kind of behavior is this? Is it elated behavior, eloquent behavior, eccentric behavior, or resolute behavior? In 3, 2, 1, the answer is C, eccentric, meaning unusual or odd behavior. Yeah, if somebody is acting really weird, then we can say they are eccentric. Practice saying that with me. Eccentric, eccentric. Yeah, they have strange or odd or weird behavior. His eccentric habits made him both loved and misunderstood. Yeah, people don't really get him. They don't really understand him because of his eccentric habits or the weird things he does. If you see somebody walking their dog in the park, well, that's normal behavior. If you see somebody walking a lizard in the park, that's very eccentric, right? Question 5, we're halfway through already. The conditions in the abandoned house were absolutely what in this abandoned house? The conditions were plush, sumptuous, appalling, or fervent. In 3, 2, 1, the answer is C, appalling, meaning shocking. Shocking and horrible or terrible. Here's an additional example. The smell in the fridge was appalling after the power outage. The power outage. So at their house, they lost power, right? The power went out. And slowly, The things inside of their refrigerator started to go bad. Maybe after a couple days, there was an appalling smell. A stench, we could also say. A stench is a really bad smell. It was shocking. Ugh. And it was horrible. So we can say that the smell in the fridge was appalling. I think it's rather appalling if you don't click the like button on this video. I find that behavior shocking and horrible. Question number 6, we're moving right along here. The pain in her leg became, after walking for 10 minutes, the pain in her leg, it became sincere or unbearable or resilient or enthralling in 3, 2, 1. The answer is B, unbearable. Too painful or bad to deal with. In other words, you can't handle it, right? The heat in the desert was simply unbearable. Simply couldn't deal with it. Simply couldn't handle it. The heat was so intense, it was just too much. So we can say it was unbearable or too much to bear. Too much to bear. Question 7, this necklace isn't expensive, but it's very, to me, very repugnant, precious, arbitrary, or formidable. In 3, 2, 1. The answer is B, precious, meaning very valuable or important. Her grandmother's ring was precious to her. Now, this is an interesting word because something that's precious, yeah, maybe it's very valuable, costs a lot of money, right? Has a lot of value somehow. And maybe it's also important, but something that's precious does not need to cost a lot of money. It doesn't have to be, from a money standpoint, a monetary standpoint, valuable. For example, look at number 7. This necklace isn't expensive. It doesn't cost a lot of money, but it's still precious. How? Well, it has a lot of sentimental value. It's very important sentimentally to this person. It means a lot to them, or it has a lot of meaning. Question number 8. He was to join the team because he didn't know anyone there. He was iconic to join the team, or eloquent to join the team, reluctant to join the team, spontaneous to join the team. In 3, 2, 1. The answer is C, reluctant, meaning unwilling, meaning hesitant, not super willing to do something, on the fence. Yeah, you're not sure about doing something. She was reluctant to speak in front of her class. Don't be reluctant to say hello in the comments. Don't be unwilling to do so. Don't be hesitant. Go ahead, say hello. I would love to say hello back. She walked right past her friend, completely to his presence. She was completely entitled to his presence. She was completely oblivious to his presence, or fickle to his presence, or abrasive to his presence. In 3, 2, 1. The answer is oblivious, meaning unaware of something. You don't know that something is there. You don't know that something is going on. You are unaware of something. He was oblivious to the fact that his shirt was on inside out. His shirt is inside out, right? And he has no idea. He's totally unaware. He's oblivious. Okay, guys, number 10, final question. Remember to let me know how you did on this quiz down in the comments. And don't go away after this, because we're going to see all of these words used in a story. And that's really going to help us understand more clearly. Okay, question 10. His something driving nearly caused 3 accidents on the way here. His reckless driving, sedentary driving, eloquent driving, or banal driving. In 3, 2, 1, the answer is A, reckless driving. Reckless is something done without thinking or caring about risks or consequences. Yeah, it's not done carefully. It's not done thoughtfully. The biker's reckless behavior got him pulled over. Okay, so maybe he's speeding. Maybe he's swerving. Maybe he's driving in a dangerous way. Yeah, we can call that reckless driving. Great. We have come to the short story called The New Normal. We're going to see those vocab words used in the story, and I'm just going to go line by line, explaining everything very clearly as we go. Let's take a look. It was inevitable that something would be forgotten. Okay, so inevitable. There was no avoiding it. It was certain to happen. Something is definitely going to be forgotten. Why? Well, with a newborn in the house, a newborn baby, a brand new baby, right? Chaos had become the new normal. Okay, there's the title of the story right there, The New Normal. Chaos, meaning craziness. The house is in a state of chaos because of this new baby. Maybe nothing is organized, nothing is clean. That morning started with an abrupt cry from the baby at 4 a.m. Oh no, an abrupt cry at 4 a.m. So the parents are sleeping soundly, sleeping peacefully, right? And there is an abrupt cry from the baby. So a very sudden and unexpected cry. That is not what you want to hear at 4 a.m. when you're trying to sleep, right? Well, Leo, that's the dad, half asleep, tripped over a laundry basket trying to reach the crib where the baby is sleeping, or was sleeping. Now the baby's awake, right? He was oblivious to the fact that the bottle warmer wasn't even plugged in, and the baby screamed louder with each passing second. Okay, so the dad is out of it. The bottle warmer should have been plugged in, should have been turned on, but he was oblivious to what? He was oblivious to the fact that it wasn't plugged in. So, in other words, he has no idea that it isn't turned on. The baby is very upset, screaming louder with each passing second. Each second that goes by, the baby just gets louder and louder. Mia, that's the mom, always the more frugal one, had refused to buy a fancy baby swing, insisting they could rock the baby to sleep by hand. So Mia is more frugal than Leo, her husband, and she didn't want to spend a lot of money on some fancy baby swings. She said, we can just rock the baby to sleep by hand. That's good enough. We don't need to waste money. So she's more frugal, right? But after 2 weeks of sleepless nights, her back pain became unbearable. Ooh, she can't stand it. She can't deal with it. It's too much to handle. It's unbearable. Her back pain, right? Leo, known for his eccentric ideas, so he's got some strange behaviors, some strange ideas, right? He had read somewhere that babies love jazz music. So now their living room echoed with saxophone solos at all hours of the night. That is eccentric. That's crazy, right? To play jazz music all night long for the baby. That's weird. That's odd. That's strange. Mia didn't have the energy to argue, so maybe Mia disagrees, but she's like, you know what? I'll let it slide. This time, I'll let it slide. I won't make it a thing. I won't make it a big deal. I'll just accept it. The apartment was in an appalling state, shocking and horrible. The state of the apartment, or the condition that the apartment was in, right? Dishes were piled in the sink. Bottles were scattered across the sofa, so there's bottles everywhere. No one could remember the last time they ate a real meal. Mia clutched, she held very tightly, a tiny locket around her neck, a precious gift from her grandmother, and whispered, "Just get through today." Wow, I feel bad for these new parents. Having a newborn baby would be unbearable. She was reluctant, unwilling to ask for help. She was hesitant to ask for help. Everyone expected her to handle things with grace, to do things gracefully, right? In other words, get everything right, never complain, never make mistakes. But when Leo tried to balance the baby on one arm while flipping pancakes with the other, she lost it. I love this expression. If you lose it, then you get really angry. You get very upset. She said, Leo, you're being reckless, right? You're acting in a dangerous way. Just put the baby down and sit for a second. So she's like, you need to be more careful with our newborn baby, Leo. And just like that, their morning ended the way most of them did lately. Messy, noisy, and very, very real. Wow, having a new baby sounds terrifying. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was something new. I wanted to try something new, and I love doing vocabulary builders. So if you want more of this kind of video with new vocabulary, type more like this down in the comments section. And if you are in the middle of a study session, keep going. I'm going to put another one of my videos up on the screen. Go click on it, and I'll meet you there. Come on, let's go.